We are going to rejig this just a tiny bit again because of time. Can I call on all the speakers to come forward and maybe just make one key contribution into what you think the next steps should be? So if we can call back Max Casey, Thomas McCann, Cindy Joyce, Brian, Breda, Jack. Am I missing somebody else? Sid, Thomas, Max, and James McCarthy. Is James McCarthy still here? No. So who wants to go first with what they think the next step should be?
Sorry, it's James Friday over there.
What do you think the next step should be, Thomas?
The next step, I think, well, first of all, I want to congratulate the Tipperary Road Travels Project and the Horse Owners Association, because I think, a lot of, and the younger people have said today, because I think it's a brilliant. I think that, what's going on is really good in Tipperary. I think it's has a very strong participation, and I think that's the basis of any action or any change. I think is have the participation of travellers both involved in it and leading. I think in terms of the next steps, I think what Mark said earlier on is right about having a political voice, and I think that is the key. And as I was saying that, I think registration and voting, but also, travellers can also be running in the local election as well as candidates. I think we shouldn't rule out, kind of putting candidates forward. I think that's what we need to do. I think it's to kind of start getting that visibility around the country. And people have run in the past. First Nan Joyce in Dublin, Margaret Sweeney, you have people like Martin Ward in Tuam, Owen Ward ran, Tom Stokes in Granite. People around the country has run and has got elected in different places. So I don't think we should rule that out. I think once you start doing it, keep doing it. It's not, I think it's the building what's happened already. I think it's great. So thanks very much for having me.
I suppose I would like to make a particular thanks to several people that have come today and showed an interest. And I'd also like to thank the statutory agencies that have supported us and worked with us over the last number of years. And I know today was probably a very difficult conference because it was actually a very different conference than it's actually usually ran. But you're actually hearing the truth and the honest. And I just want to, I really, really appreciate on behalf of travellers, I can't express enough to say thanks a million. And it takes a lot of guts to stay in a room where you're hearing an awful lot of honesty. So thanks a million.
Thank you. I would concur with Mags and that it is a very difficult, I suppose, day to day. It's a very different conference. It's a very emotional conference, and I suppose with truth and honesty, I suppose emotions always come out, and it can be very difficult for everybody in the room to listen to the truth and honesty, not only the seven people, but even ourselves to listen to the truth and honesty of what we have been through as a community. And I suppose to say what our next steps would be is, I suppose for me it would be to keep using the platform that we have to keep standing up there, no matter how much barriers are put in front of us, because we are going to get barriers and we're going to get high barriers that we need to break down. And We have broken down many barriers over the years, throughout generations. Our mothers, grandmothers and grandparents have broken down barriers. And now I suppose it's our time to break down those barriers. Those barriers keep shooting up, but no matter what, I suppose that sometime those barriers will not rise again if we just keep standing and doing what we're doing and bringing the community together. And I suppose the Horse Ownership is doing an excellent job in bringing our traveller men together, I suppose, and giving them a voice, because it's rare in Irish society that you have traveller men coming together like that and having a political voice and trying to make change for the community. And as I suppose what was said this morning, that the assumption that traveller men are hard to reach the community, it's an assumption about us as a community itself. So anybody that you talk about talks about how hard it is to reach the traveller community, how difficult it is to reach us. But as was said this morning, it is not difficult to reach us. The only difficulty is on the opposite side, and the difficulty is for people to be brave enough to just listen to what we have to say.
I'd like to thank everyone for listening to what we said today, and I suppose we're just going to keep going and not going to give up, and we're just going to keep getting our voices heard until we see change, until we receive the change that we need to receive in the traveller community. And we will keep going with the Horse Association, because the horse is as much right part of our lives as anything else, and until we get that recognised, we won't stop. Thank you very much.
Yeah, the horses again, lads. But listen to me, we're going to continue with horses. And the people that's out there is backbiting us about horses and criticising. If it would take 5 minutes to sit down and talk to them, they might see a different side, because we're going to keep the horses. We're brought into the world with them, and we're going to go out the world with them. Thank you very much for coming.
I suppose I'd just like to say that I kind of feel very privileged to work in a project that kind of looks at the political and structural issues, but takes as its starting point travellers' own experience, their own voice, and works alongside them to support them to find their own answers and to pursue those. So I think that's a really good model, and it's a model that should be used. So I suppose that's where I'm coming. And again, to say that from what I've heard, there's an invitation from travellers to engage, but it has to be at the level of respect and equality, and hearing both sides.
Yeah, I suppose I just reminded of something that Bridget Quilligan said this morning when she was opening up the thing, and she talked about it, and I'm looking at this flower as well, because that keeps appearing for some reason. But like she was talking about the roots of something, but if you don't actually get to the roots, and I think this conference is the first time, my first home experience of actually, I came up somewhere where this discussion did get to the roots of what's wrong here and what the story is here. And I go absolutely agree with Mike Casey that for people to listen to this, I was having a person to listen to this, I feel privileged as Jack knows to be able to get that. Sometimes it's not a nice discussion, it's not easy for everybody here to accept that, but actually I think this is the start of something. It is the start. I don't think it's going to be any magic solution to it. I don't think this is about making recommendations at the end of the conference. I think it's actually about saying we've started something today that means there has to be a new way of working now. There has to be a new set of rules as you move forward in looking at these issues. And you start by looking at the roots. You don't start by looking at the leaves or the plants of it. If we don't look at the roots, all the agencies and everybody else is going to do is to waste money. So can we just wind back, start listening to what travellers are saying, and let's start dealing with the roots of this issue. That's what I think of the conference. And as I say, it's a privilege to be here. I haven't seen this before, where, you know, like travellers are actually very, very clear in terms of what was being said today about what these challenges are, what the issues are. Very clear in asking people to work on that agenda, and I would totally look forward to that challenge and that, you know, request being taken up by agencies and beginning temporarily, but moving out from that. So that's my comment.
say something maybe on what they think might be the next steps forward. Cheryl?
Thank you guys. I'm Cello. I work with North Tipperary Legal Partnership and Community Development for Traveller. There is one little thing that maybe we haven't commented about the next step, and is the international support for minority groups. I mean, we are a minority, it's a small percentage of travellers in the country, but there are, from what I hear, a lot of human rights that have been violated here, and the culture that has been almost ethnic genocide is what the lady here, I can't remember her name, said, but it is, yeah, Cindy. Why not bring it to the human rights tribunals if our politicians and our representation is very small percentage, but as the rights of minorities, you know, this voice has to be brought up to those tribunals. And another thing, I mean, that reminds me of a European MEP, you know, Ramirez Heredia, who is a Spanish Gypsy representative who's been here in Europe and has been a big voice for the Roma people in Spain. I think it's a model that we could follow, and, you know, a link that we need to make, internationalize these issues and this discrimination, bring it to Europe, bring it to where other decisions are made, and where we may be recognized as well.
Thank you.
For many decades now, actually, travellers have been engaging with European structures of human rights and equality bodies across Europe, and also with the Roma European Roma Traveller Forum, and we have some representatives of that. However, in terms of taking a case to the Court of Human Rights, we don't have the right, in Ireland, you don't have the right to a class action. It's called a class action, where a group of people can take a case based on what's happened to them. It's individuals, has to take it, and you have to exhaust the court system in the country before you can refer it on. And that's, you know, it needs to be, if it was a class action, I think we could do something like that, but otherwise, it would even have the legal support to take cases, even accommodation cases, is very limited. We set up the legal unit in the ITN, so we did a number of cases, you might be, and through other bodies as well, but it's very difficult. But there is a European we do link with other European structures in terms of, and part of that, getting recognised as an ethnic minority, was if you look at some of the comments that Europe was making at the time, there was a slight threat that they were going to take the Irish government to court if they didn't recognise travellers as an ethnic group. So that was in the background all the time, and that was because of the engagement. So you're right, it's very important to continue that. But that's absolutely. And we need to do more of it. We need to kind of see how we can move cases to Europe. We need to take cases here in Ireland. We need support for travellers to take cases here. I mean, earlier on we heard about while people were out, the trailer getting broken up. You know, we heard, as I was saying earlier on, a case, you know, people need support to take legal cases here, and we don't have the resources to do that. That's the difficulty.
And we have taken cases, I know Springmain and Cork and other very appalling sites around the country were part of a case that went to Europe and was won. So there is precedent there, and in terms of the politicians, that is something that all the national groups and local groups are seeking, is, if you like, an allotted place for a traveller. So, what's that called? Not special circumstances, where you have a place kept for a minority group. The words, I'm using it every day and it's not in my head, positive discrimination. So where you would keep a place specifically for, because a traveller person, so we could do that very easily in the Shannon, that could be done today if we wanted to do it, if they wanted to do it. So we need to keep pressing for that, for political representation for our people. I think there was somebody at this, or at the end table, is it, or?
Hi.
Hi.
Just back to the equine therapy, you notice there's leaflets on tables there handed out. Myself and a friend of mine started the equine therapy for young people. My partner finished 3 years died by suicide 5 years ago, and I found myself 6 months ago with my 14-year-old daughter in nearly at the stage. Thank God she didn't get there. I spent 4 months in hospital with her, trying to get through her mental health. The only thing, by the way, I'm a friend of horses, right? But the only thing that kind of brought her back after hospital and the counsellors and psychiatrists and the whole lot was my partner here. My partner here bought her a horse. And just amazing the difference in her. So we decided to start this equine therapy. I'm not sure who set it up there, but said that equine therapy is not good for traveller children. I'm not sure who said that. The equine therapy it's not riding therapy, it's all on the ground therapy. And I don't see how you can say that.
No, I'm sorry to intervene. I don't think that was what was quite meant by it. It was just meant that we have our own style of equine therapy. And that by bringing our own children up to the horses, that is its own form of therapy. So we don't call it equine therapy, but am I right? Cindy, is that what was trying to be said? That we have our own methods. It's not what you might see, what other people might do, but we have our own connection with horses. It's very spiritual and very real.
Right. No, because I was just about to say you've wondered in years' experience with horses. But I would encourage anybody that has kids from 12 to 18 to use the service. It's free. You know, it's free. And I mean, there's no damage like come out of this. You know, thanks.
That's why all our travellers keep their own horses, because they're there hard times.
We've our own therapy in our back gardens and in our back fields or wherever we have our horse tied. But we definitely do take your point on board. It is a marvellous way to overcome difficulties. And it's free, says Thomas McCann.
Families don't horses, and therapy is there. Why not use it?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think just to say that rather than seeing it as a separate therapy for travellers, as was said earlier on, it's a way of life, part of the culture. You know, so it's not seen as, it wasn't seen as something separate. It's very much seen as part of people's lives and part of the culture. You know, so that's really important. It's not saying that you can't, that there isn't, and there is equine therapy there. I've read about it and stuff like that, and talk to people who run it. And it's a very good, very useful method of helping people. So there's many people across many different issues. But it's also important that for travellers, like it's not separate to travel culture. That horses is part of travel culture, part of the lifestyle. And that, you know, so that is like to take away that, it's not just the therapy, you know what I mean? It's hard to differentiate between something separate out there and something that's part of people's lives. And I think that's the bit that's what was meant in terms of time.
To take away the horse, what holds don't be therapy, and they can be suicide call.
Just two quick things, Richard, and just congratulate everybody who took part today. One of the things, and Meg's lady down here actually said it, that you have a powerful community yourselves. Go and get registered. There's elections this time next year. I'm looking forward to myself. But you have a massive opportunity this time next year to actually put down a map for yourselves. If it isn't to run someone, but actually force other politicians to come and listen to you. That's where my second point. Coming over this morning, there was a politician on giving his stuff to work about tracking and all that. To the best of my knowledge, they've never actually met the city or common lads. Call these people out when they go on the radio or the local media, talking on your behalf, and they won't even go to the trouble of coming to a conference or sit down with you outside these events. Because we had a man over in Swan for 10 minutes past an hour, took his picture, he was away again, and he's at the whole time. Do not let them speak through your behalf, and yes, they actually find out what ye want yourselves. And that's one of the main things that everybody should take away from the conference yesterday. Do not let them away with this.
There's just one more intervention. Susie.
So first of all, should I say congratulations to everyone involved. It's really powerful on this conference today, really very emotional. But we linked in a little bit what he said, that something that comes back to me again is accountability and the lack of accountability. We're looking at county councils that are returning money, we're looking at schools that are failing on progression of young children, and just accountability right across the board. Reports or recommendations aren't being followed through. I mean, I don't know how that can be achieved, but that's something I think that needs to be looked at.
Thanks very much, Susie.
I think if you look at the task force report, and if you look at NITRIS now, if you look at the task force report, the 1995 task force report, there was about 100 and so many recommendations, and none of them were implemented, and there was no accountability. And my fear as a traveller woman, for my children and my grandchildren is the NITRIS report now is the new kid on the block, the National Traveller Roma Inclusion Strategy. And there's a big, big fear in me that that won't be delivered either. And there is no accountability in the task force report. And who's to say there's more to be accountability around the National Traveller Roma Inclusion Strategy? There's not. And there's no budgets even related to the targets that we want to achieve out of the National Traveller Roma Inclusion Strategy. Now, as a community worker, not an activist, when you're engaging with civil servants at a national level, they're going to tell you that they want this outcome, that outcome, and so on. It is impossible without budgets. And you work at a local level with people who are very willing and want engagement and want outcomes for the community. But there's no accountability there either because it's not happening at a national level. If you have the traveller accommodation programme that hasn't been delivered for the last 17 years, 17 years, and we still have travellers living in third world accommodations, there are no accountability. And I think, again, going back to us being more politically organised, with people that are in this room, with certain people in this room and outside this room, that we actually join up thinking in terms of if it's a traveller accommodation, lining up at home as certain people accommodation. We need to get more smarter, we need to get more strategic, we need to move it on. And I think we need to make the state accountable. And if we don't get our voices heard in solidarity with certain people, there is never going to be accountability. Never. I mean, if you look at the 2012 National the Traveller Health Strategy, that was done in 2012. My fear that that won't ever be done again for the next 20 or 30 years. You know, that's an example. If you look at the education strategy, none of it was implemented. There are no accountability. There are no sanctions when the recommendations are not delivered. How our kids are treated in the education system. A lot of our kids are being sent to school every day of the week and they're coming out not being able to read and write. There's no accountability in the education system. So it's not that we're thick or stupid or uneducated or unintelligent. It's actually the opposite way around. And I think, unfortunately, we need accountability or nothing's going to change.
There has been no accountability whatsoever, and I think, in my personal opinion, the reason why is because they just keep getting away with it. The council, the government, the educators, the services, it's just one issue, one crisis, one after another, and no matter what we do to stand up. It just seems to be that we are getting no accountability whatsoever, there's no transparency, and it's just, to me, it seems that it just seems to be in the Irish psyche that it's okay. It's okay. And the reason why it's okay, because we're just travellers. And that's just the simple, honest truth of it. There is no accountability, there are no sanctions, and the thing is that it goes around in circles for generation after generation after generation. If you look at the accommodation issue, the amount of money that has not been spent in accommodation, but yet a county council that has underspent on accommodation has the cheek then to stand up and criticise us as a community for living on the side of the road without services, for being a nuisance to society. What do they want us to do? They don't want us to live our own culture, our own identity, but yet they don't want to accept us into this level of society either. So I suppose the reason, like some of the young people that I'm working with and doing my research with, the amount of, intelligence out of those young people, from age 12 to 21 is the group that I'm working with. And the creativity and the intelligence that they have, and the knowledge that they have around society, and the way society has treated them, and the way that the councils, the schools, the governments and educators has treated them. And the knowledge that they have, they shouldn't have at such a young age. I suppose, to put in inverted commas what they call normal children, do not go through this system. But we, our children, we have to listen to our children, ask them questions about why they're being treated like that. Why are they living at the side of the road with no electricity, no water, no sanitation, but yet you have the council and other people standing up and having blockades like we have down in Cork, blockades, second community, having a blockade because the Travel family brought in a bigger trailer than a small trailer. That is no accountability. We will never have accountability when we have that attitude. And that is what we need to change. And I think today is probably one of the first steps in gaining accountability. Because we can't do it as our own in a community. We're such a small community, as I said, we're only less than 1% of the population. We cannot do it on our own. We need you. And you need us. We are one. We are Irish society. We are one people. And we're asking for your help.
Thanks very much. In conclusion, we heard an awful lot, and this will be written up and there'll be a report from the conference, but we heard an awful lot about partnership, but partnership which is equal. Understanding of culture, understanding of where each other is coming from, listening to the needs of travellers, listening to travellers, not just hearing, listening. We need innovative, strategic approaches, and definitely, Thomas McCann said, keep doing what you're doing, and I think this is definitely one of the examples of a very innovative and strategic approach. One good example of that, and we need more of the same. We need representation of our own people, and we need to show ourselves as a political force and to be united as a community, singing from the same hymn sheet around the issues that matter, around the futures of ourselves and our families and our culture. None of the strategies to support our people, none of the policies, none of the programmes have worked, and most of them haven't been implemented, measured, or matched with proper resources. So Cindy Joyce asked the question in the morning, who cares about us? I've often asked myself the same question, and I've often heard small children asking the same thing in a different way, but essentially it is, who cares about us? But the answer to that is, we care about us. We care about ourselves, we care about our families, and we care about all that came before us and all that will come after us. We will not let our culture or our people die out. And we have to make a promise to ourselves and to our people that we will make ourselves stronger and more resilient, and that we will make Ireland, hopefully in partnership, but if not by any means possible, including taking people to court, accept that we are equal citizens of this country. It is not okay for me to be followed around the shop. It is not okay for me or anybody, any other traveller in here, to be refused a service. It is not okay for our children to be put on reduced timetables. It is not okay for a window to be closed in front of a traveller woman's face when she goes in to access a service because she can't read the sign and you don't tell her that the thing is going to close in 5 minutes. It is not okay for us to be suffering from anti-traveller racism, which is quite likely what we are suffering from, as Cindy said. Society wants us to believe that we are failed, settled people. And as I said earlier, we have to listen to everything that society wants us to believe about ourselves. We'd never wake up in the morning. We'd be walking constantly with our head down. But you can see here today, we're not walking with our heads down. We're walking around like we own this place, because we're equal citizens in this country. Even if we're not acknowledged that, we believe ourselves, we know we are equal citizens, but we have to fight for that recognition. And we don't have to fight from it just from our neighbours, we have to fight from our government. We have it in paper, but we don't have it in practice. In conclusion, I suppose we have an awful lot from today to work on and to go forward with. Each one of us has a responsibility. And we had a conference a number of years ago and I posed the question, which side of history do you want to be on? Because make no mistake, the history of the travellers will be written, and it will be written by the people on the stage and others around the country. Our history will be written and recorded. Do any of us want our grandchildren to be in school, embarrassed about us saying our grandparents didn't do the right thing? Or do you want your children and grandchildren to be in school and say, our parents stood up when an indigenous ethnic minority was facing nearly annihilation? Because to some people we might be a nuisance when we talk about horses, when we talk about accommodation, when we talk about nomadism. But look what we have lost as a people in 80 years. Look what we have lost in 20 years. We might never be able to roll that back. But the least that we can do is fight for what we have now and to cement that, to make sure that on a practical level, anyone that wants to be nomadic is facilitated to be nomadic, because it's already in our legislation. As our National Accommodation Officer, Bridget Casey, blew in the face from telling local authorities. We already have that in our legislation, but it's not enacted. We just need stuff that's already there to be enacted. We need horse owners to be able to keep their horses for all the reasons that they outlined. And we need traveller culture and traveller heritage to be celebrated, and for our place in Ireland to be acknowledged. Because we are not nobodies. And everywhere you see a traveller, think whatever you might think and view them. They know who they are and they know where they come from, and they know they're not nobody. So if you think you're nobody, you need to check yourself, examine yourself and ask, why has society made you think that about another human being? So with that, I would like to congratulate once more the Tipperary Horse Association, Traveller Horse Association and Tipperary Rural Travellers Project for innovative work and for leading the way in opening the discussion around horses, mental health, and following on, I suppose, in terms of opening up the discussion about mental health, that our mental health ambassador, Thomas McCann, if you like, even though he doesn't like any acknowledgements, has been doing for many, many years, because it is an epidemic. It is killing people. And we only have to look around us and we only have to feel it in our hearts to see it. So thanks everyone.